Ladies and gentlemen, now hosting the RizzoCast, put your hands together for Steven Risotto!
What is happening, everybody, and welcome. This is episode number 68 of RizzoCast. I'm Steven Risotto, along with Jasper Lindsay, as always. And today we are joined by someone who's played in parts of 10 seasons with the Rockies, the Mets, the Braves, the Yankees, and the Angels. He's now a coach for the Tacoma Rainers, AAA affiliate of the Seattle Mariners. It is former big league outfielder Eric Young Jr. EY, what's going on? How you doing? Thanks for coming on.
What's going on, fellas? I'm glad to be on.
Yeah, well, I guess the first thing that comes to mind, we're recording this the day after the All-Star game. I know you guys played last night, but it just wrapped up at Coors Field in Colorado, a place that you know pretty well. How much does that mean to the city to hold the All-Star game there this season?
I think it was huge. I think they did a great job getting it all developed under short notice. I already know the city is beautiful, especially in the summertime. And then they built up that Lodo area even more so since I played there. So I know it was just great for the city. They appreciate their baseball. They're great fans. And, I was just happy for them.
Yeah, and I mean, most of your time is now spent working your job with the Tacoma Rainers, but do you still get to catch some Major League Baseball and lock in on what's going on with the game?
Every now and again, obviously game times are similar, but definitely try to watch the highlights after the game. During the day, I'll watch some baseball, especially East Coast games that are being played well before our game. So definitely try to keep an eye on it, see what's going on. Always a fan of the game, even though I'm not playing anymore. Still a fan, still a student, still studying, still watch as much as I can.
So you're a quick pitch guy at night.
I do watch it. Yep. and I kind of flip back from Sports Center and quick pitch. So I gotta watch both, see if they have different highlights.
There you go. So you're fresh out of the game, but has anything changed in 3 years? I mean, what are some of the biggest trends you've noticed? Because I know there's a lot to see with launch angle and exit velocity and just the way the game's kind of evolved. What have you noticed?
As the later years of my playing career, the small game was kind of going out. Actually, I've seen of late it's starting to trend back in. So especially now, more defensive shifts. So small balls now being coming back, because obviously how do you beat the shift? Got to play some small ball to beat the shift. So I think like I said, as I was exiting the game, the small ball was leaving, but I think it's starting to trend back more now, just to get more action in the game and generate more runs.
Yeah, I mean, you've been a speed guy your whole career, and this is a question that doesn't get asked enough, but how hard is it to steal a major league base?
I mean, if you're super fast, you can get away with just running sometimes. Obviously, the older I got, the smarter you had to be with knowing who the pitcher is, what his move is, who the catcher is behind the plate, how good of an arm he has, all the scenarios that could play a part. Is the hole open for the hitter? Different things that could play a part. Is this a great situation for me to steal? You try to have all those things, pre-thought before you actually take the base. So I know a lot of thought process there in a short period of time. Pretty much from the point I'm on the base till I lead off, I'm processing all that, and then if the opportunity presents itself, gotta go.
Yeah, who had the best pickoff move during your playing time?
I can't say, because they move was a little borderline. Could be close to a balk move, so I don't want to say who. A couple of them still playing, so
yeah.
But obviously, if me coaching, if ever I have to go against them, I'm gonna be like, hey, that's a balk move. Got to watch it.
Yeah. No, definitely. But like sticking with it, you said the small ball part of the game has kind of gone away, and the stealing bases isn't as valued as it used to be. Do you think? And you said you think it's coming back, but I mean, I guess where did it go for that period? I mean, guys are so focused on hitting and stuff.
Well, obviously, with the success of a stolen base, obviously you get caught stealing, could run you out of this inning, could close some holes for a hitter. So Like I said, it's just a matter of being smarter about it. But base running as a whole, I think, is getting increased value. Guys being able to advance on the bases, going first to third, scoring from second base, scoring from first base. Those things now definitely want to emphasize. That way guys are, focusing on the base running aspect. That way now those 1-run games, maybe you are sneaking a second, third run across, and having I ain't gonna say an easier day at the ballpark, but getting a win, as opposed to a 1-0 game or, those tighter games.
So let's get into kind of your coaching experience now. How did you kind of initially get involved with wanting to coach? Because I know a lot of guys kind of retire, take time off a little bit, then come back. And how did the chance with the Rainiers and the Mariners organization kind of come about?
Well, my later years in playing, I always found myself, helping younger teammates, or they gravitating towards me. And I always enjoyed it and seemed to have a knack for it. So I always had an idea, coaching could possibly be, something on, the forefront. So it wasn't like it was something that just came out of nowhere. And then I was with the Mariners organization my last year playing. So they, liked the way I went about with the younger players, and just presented to me, like, hey, whenever you feel like, coaching, or if that's an option for you, give us a call, and, we'll sit down from there. And that's pretty much how that went.
What is kind of your day-to-day routine? Because I know on the website you're just listed as it's very vague, coach. So what is kind of your routine, your day-to-day your roles that you kind of take with the team?
So I'm assistant hitting coach, so I'm in the cage with the hitters, pretty much majority of the pre-workout. And then once we get out to the field for actual batting practice, I'm working with the outfielders as well as the base runners, whether during BP or before BP. And then during the game, mainly with the outfielders, base running, first base coach. And I still, help with the hitters, because obviously I'm in the cage with them working all day. So, I know if they're a little, out of whack or something's a little off. And so, yeah, I know it just says extra coach, but it's a full day's meal there. But I'm appreciative, get to learn and experience all different things, get to work side to side, with the manager, Chris Negron, just learning things on the manager role, picking his brain and, situations and things like that. And just kind of learning, everything that comes with on the coaching side and going from there.
Yeah, absolutely. And kind of being pretty recent from the game, do you ever feel like grabbing a bat? I mean, you see a guy that comes into the game, and this rarely happens, but if you ever see a guy that throws like 90 with like a low spin rate, just everything looks fat coming out, hanging breaking balls, do you ever just feel like going up there with a bat and hitting or wanting to grab your glove?
No, not so much anymore. I said maybe sometimes during the game, just when I see situations that, I can exploit. But like I said, I really enjoy teaching it now, and mainly when it translates into the game, I get it's pure joy when you see, you give some information, show something, and then it translates in the game. That's a great feeling right there. But every now and again, I might, go in the cage and take a couple swings off the tee, but I don't miss the everyday grind of it.
Yeah, so I want to talk about one of the guys you coach at the Rainers, and that's Jared Kellneck. He broke into the big leagues finally this year, but you've gotten the chance to work with him one-on-one. What makes this kid so special?
Oh man, he's got that determination, man. He got that it factor. He's gonna work himself to success. He just has that will and pure drive to want to be one of the best ones out there. He takes information well. I think just with more experience and more games played, he's going to be a real good one, fun one to watch.
Yeah, and I mean, unfortunately, his first round at the big league level, he hasn't performed quite to what people expect. But how have you kind of talked to him about just kind of dealing with the failures that come with the big league level? And it's normal for young players to struggle. So, yeah.
No, it happens, and he just once he understands that, and had to explain to him that, hey, they're going to get video on you. They're going to figure out game plans. They're going to try to attack you certain ways. And okay, now it's up to you to make the adjustment and, go from there. So He's made his adjustments once he came back down. So, like I said, he's going to be fun to watch. And, at some point, I don't know when, because that ain't my decision, but he'll be back in the big leagues and he's going to be doing things, for everybody to see.
Awesome.
Absolutely. He'll be back for sure. Back to kind of your playing career, your dad, Eric Young Sr., played in the big leagues for many different teams. And we were talking about this before. You guys narrowly missed each other. So his final year is 2006. You were drafted in 2006. And then he came and coached for the Mets a few years after you left. So narrowly missing each other. What were some of the things that you learned from him as you kind of developed as a young player yourself?
Well, I still that kid at the field during the summers and watching him and watching other players. I guess more so how to be a professional. Be a man, going out there every day. Giving everything you got, as well as being respectful to everybody you come across. And I don't know, countless advice, things that I've taken from him that he probably don't even know. He probably said, or just me watching him over the years that I picked up. So, I don't have much to say. That's my hero. That's my dad.
Yeah. And I mean, we see former big leaguers' sons all over the place nowadays, but you and Tony Gwynn Jr. were kind of those first sons of 90s players to break into the league. How'd you kind of go about separating yourself from your father's own success and building your own name?
Well, I mean, difficult for both of us because we both played similar positions to our fathers. But obviously, I think the name definitely probably helped me get in the door. Yeah. But then obviously you have to produce, you have to play, and create your own style. And I was able to do that over the years. And I think once people just started saying EYJ, putting the J on there, I think that's when it was like, okay, cool. Eric Young Sr., Eric Young Jr. A lot of similarities in the game, but still different people.
Yeah, it's wild listening to Padres broadcast, and sometimes you hear Tony Gwynn Jr. on there, and it sounds just like his dad. It's wild to hear their voices together. So what did your dad say when you told him that you'd be getting into coaching? Did he say that you were like out of your mind? Was he happy for you? What was kind of the reaction there?
No, he was happy for me. I think he never said anything about it, but I think he sensed it just because he's seen how I operated with the younger players, and just from word of mouth, I guess guys across the league, he knows countless guys. I know countless guys. Maybe mentioned to him, hey man, maybe your son probably be a good one. So when I told it to him, he was like, great, man. He's like, everybody thinks you're gonna be a great one. So you still got to put the work in, and now it's just a different focus point. Instead of the actual game, now you're getting all the preparation for the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have any memories of being in the clubhouse or with the players as a kid? Because I know we've seen pictures come out of Vlad Jr., with his dad at the home run derby, and, Bo Bichette with his dad. I mean, there's so many, as Jasper mentioned, there's so many father-son duos, and Barry Bonds always talks about going to the field with his dad and hanging out with Willie Mays. So what were some of the memories that you have from being in a big league clubhouse growing up?
Man, there's a bunch, because I think 6 or 7 when he debuted. So I was around for quite a bit and remember a bunch of it. And, I know I got to bat boy a few times. That was before they put you have to be 18 years old rule. And then, my dad hitting a couple home runs and meeting him at home plate, that was pretty awesome. So we actually got a picture, in my basement of us high-fiving at home plate. I think he was a Dodger, and I was bat boying that day. So he had a home run. So it was pretty cool.
I know it's a safety concern, but they got to bring back kind of the little bat boys. I mean, that was the best trend in baseball. I guess Darren Baker kind of screwed it up though, and he was just picked by the Nationals, which is wild. See,
so it's so now definitely every time he's gonna get that story relived. But I don't know. I think if you just train him a little bit, I mean, he was little at that point in time, and it just so happened to be a big game that he ran out there. So I don't think if it was as big a game, it would be as big of a story. But I think if you train the bat boys, they'll be all right. Just they don't go in this situation. So, but I would love to see the younger ones back out there because, like I said, it's fun for the kids to see the game too from up close and personal.
Yeah, technically it wasn't wrong. He was trying to get the bat. So.
No, he was trying to just to happen in that situation and just wait a couple, wait another minute, then go get it. But no, he was just, hey, I'm go get the bat. He swung, he hit, I go get it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So we just saw the draft. I mentioned Darren Baker was picked in the draft. We just saw the draft happen, and there's now only 20 rounds, and you were picked in the 30th. So if you were picked this year, you probably would have to like sign as an undrafted free agent or something. Yep. And you had is it true that you had a pending football scholarship from Villanova?
Mm-hmm. I did. I signed a letter of intent to go play college football there, as well as then, walk onto the baseball team. And then I got drafted when they still had the draft and follow process. And I decided to go just the baseball route and went junior college.
So how did you find out? Because I mean, they didn't have MLB Network back then, or I don't want to make you feel too old, but how did you find out that? Because not a lot of people, we know how people find out when they're drafted in the first or second round, but 30th round, how do you find out that?
I was in my high school TV class. It was a TV production class, and I got a call on my cell phone from the scout of the Rockies who was drafting me. And normally at that time you can't answer your phone in class, but I just saw the name, told the teacher, I was like, I think I should answer this right now. I might have just been drafted. And she was like, wait, seriously? I was like, no, seriously. So she let me answer it, and then sure enough, he was like, hey, we just picked you in the 30th round. I was like, oh, all right, cool. And then hung up and told her, say, yep, I just got drafted. And so then, the class went crazy, and it was a cool moment right there. So
yeah, once we get Dan O'Dowd on this show, we're gonna ask him why he made that selection in the 30th round, and we'll get back to you on that.
Well, it don't matter why, man. I'm just happy that he did. So got the opportunity, especially now that they only have 20 rounds. So I'm appreciative.
Yeah, no, for sure. Was it hard to leave football?
No. I think the first couple years in the minor leagues, only because on Saturday morning I would see a lot of my old college teammates or guys I played against playing on college football. But kind of once they started graduating and not playing anymore, and I was still working my way up and still going, I was like, all right, I think I made the right choice.
Yeah, and I got a question now that I think is on probably everyone's mind after they're just watching the All-Star game, but what's it like playing at Coors Field? I mean, especially with that huge outfield, how do you make reads and kind of like, it's crazy to me that some of the balls I saw you get to back in the day, man.
It's a lot of grass out there. And obviously so, because, the ball flies there. And then, people think, the ball flies a lot of home runs. I was like, yeah, but there's a lot of hits too, because there's a lot of grass out there to cover. So, usually you try to play closer to the infield. That way you get the cheaper hits. You can get, catch those, the ones over your head. They either been hit pretty good or they're going to be a home run. So, try to help the pitcher out when he makes a pitch and get the outs that you're supposed to get. The jam shots, the bloops. Try to make sure you catch those.
Yeah, and sticking with Coors Field, everyone knows the ball travels far, but are pitchers affected at all? Like, does the ball break more? Do the jump on the fastball quicker?
Sometimes the breaking ball doesn't spike as hard as it could just because of the altitude. But that's just a pitcher knowing they gotta really command that pitch and get on top of it. If you don't get commanded the way you want to, it's gonna be hung right there probably for a good pitch to hit. So, but that, I guess that's just the challenge for the pitcher. Like, how good can you command your pitch?
Yeah, so I want to ask about a guy you played with, Troy Tulowitzki. I mean, how good was he? I feel like he's one of those players who we'd be talking about as an all-time great right now had he not gotten hurt all the time.
Oh, no, definitely. One of those once-in-a-lifetime players, fun to watch, leader in the clubhouse, great guy off the field. Like I said, yeah, if like you said, those injuries didn't hit him, he'll be in the conversation for one of those all-time talks. So, but for the moments that we did get him, thankful. I was there when he hit the 14, 15 home runs in that 1 month. I mean, and that was just incredible to watch. It seemed like just every time he swung the bat, it was going out the park. So, that was incredible to watch.
That was a really good core with Todd Helton and Cargo and Dexter Fowler. I mean, there's a lot of characters on that team.
Oh, I love that team. That was, I mean, obviously my original team, and that's going to be my, break into the big leagues. All the guys I, got to enjoy that with when I first got there. To have, like I said, a special talent like Tulo there to watch him, and then have the veteran Todd, being there to help us through, especially the younger guys. He didn't always say much, but when he did speak, it came from the heart, and that he was trying to get you better. So, no, that was a special team. Cargo and Dexter, those are my two guys. We all roamed the outfield. So, we still talk off the field, to this day.
That's awesome. Dexter's still hanging in there right now. So this is a shame, and I hate to ask this question, but a lot of people remember you as the guy, and this is really unfortunate, the guy that stepped on Tim Hutz's ankle, obviously, and it was a really unfortunate play, and obviously you were super concerned about what happened. What was kind of the aftermath of an event like that? Did you kind of give Tim Hudson a call after the game, and how did that go?
Well, fortunately, that same night, because at Citi Field, the X-ray machine is actually right next to the home clubhouse. So when they took him, he was still there, getting all that done. So I was able to go see him and his wife right after the game. Spent a couple minutes there talking with him, apologizing. They put my mind at ease. Made me feel a lot better after the situation, and encouraged me to continue to play hard and go forward. So it was needed right after that moment, and then. I'm real appreciative of both his wife and Tim, that they could have made the situation a lot worse. So then it worked out for him. He ended up getting World Series the next year. Going over there with the Giants. So I was like, man, well, he ended up signing with the world champs and pitched Game 7. So. That was a storybook book for writing for him as well. So I'm glad the story for both of us is still going in a positive direction.
Absolutely. And sticking with you on the Mets, I mean, you're a guy who was born in New Jersey. You go from kind of a smaller market team in Colorado to the Big Apple. What was that kind of like? I mean, just going, because baseball lives there, man. Those fans love their Mets.
Mm-hmm. It was different. More so just from me, coming back home. Obviously being in Colorado, time difference. A lot of people East Coast either just can't see the game or can't, it's a late game, so they can't stay up to watch the game. So they knew I was in the big leagues, but really couldn't see me play. And then once I got to the Mets, not only was it, oh man, you really are in the big leagues, man, you were pretty good. It turned to that one, like, man, we're seeing you, all in the highlights, and then all the local channels, because that's home. So I was, being able to go visit schools in the New York, New Jersey area. So, they was able to see my face, at home quite a bit. So that was quite an experience, not only for me, but for my family. My mom had situations where, people thought at her job, she was just a EY Junior fan, because she had pictures of me, at her desk. So she'd be like, oh no, I'm not just, she's like, this is my family also, and these are my sons. And it was like, oh, and they're like, wait, yes, that's my son. And so she's having those type of moments at work where people are like, wait, your son is, mm-hmm. So that was pretty cool to hear from her. And when I went to her job and visited, and saw some of her employees, her coworkers, that was cool too.
That'd be wild if you go back to your high school and go back into the film class. Or no, was that in college when you were drafted?
College. Yep. College. I had that film class. Yep.
Yeah. No, that would be awesome if you go back to your college film class and you go, man, I was drafted in this room. That'd be pretty awesome.
Right. Yep.
By the way, back in 2015, the Mets won the World Series. Did you get a ring? Were you able to kind of?
Yeah. No, we didn't. We did.
The Mets did not win the World Series. The Royals won the World Series in 2015.
Yep, we did not.
The Mets won the pennant in 2015. Man,
yes, we did.
That's a tough mistake.
World Series. We were in the World Series.
We're in the World Series. So were you able to kind of enjoy that run?
Yeah. No. Well, see, I was with the Braves earlier that year, and then they traded back for me, to be the base runner, going into that playoff run. So no, it was great. It was, just being around the atmosphere, being, around the guys, a lot of guys having success, especially when I first got traded there. Obviously the team wasn't that hot. So it was just special to be around and just seeing, New York, blue and orange, because, obviously the Yankees dominated the city for a while.
Oh, that was a rough mistake on my part. Did you get
Nope.
did you get a National League? Like, what is it? They give the pennant rings or whatever.
Uh-huh.
They give the,
Yep, I did. Yep.
Awesome. Well,
Pretty
I guess,
cool.
yeah, pretty cool, but not it, but still
It's
pretty
not
cool.
yet, it's not the ring, but still took a lot of hard work to get there though.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. So yeah, speaking of hard work and challenges, I mean, you lost your son, Eric Young III, in January 2017. And I think we in the media don't talk about the mental challenges that athletes face enough. But what is it like going through a family tragedy while balancing the expectations of coaches, fans, the media that you have on the field?
I think a lot of people choose to try to hide it and bury it, and then end up hurting themselves or hurting others. That particular year, I chose to be open about it, and just for more so, just if my teammates saw me and having an emotional, I was like, hey, I'm okay, don't be alarmed. But then it ended up being more so allowing other guys to, open up, and some things that might have been weighing on them, trying to go out there and perform, and keeping a lot of traumas that they had buried. It's tough. It's tough because obviously you don't perform. Fans, if they don't know the story, just gonna let you have it, telling you suck, and not knowing that hey, you got some things going on. You're human as well, and that you're trying to get your mind right. So me personally, I say I chose to be open about it, and it helped me, seeing that it helped a lot of other people as well. And I ended up having a great year that year, on the field. So I think more so my family and I, we all just got a lot tighter, communicate more, and allow ourselves to be more vulnerable, so that we don't have moments where people feel like time bombs.
Yeah, I want to ask you about the Players Alliance, and it's played a key part in really helping the inner city baseball, the inner cities, and because honestly, baseball's really losing some really awesome Black athletes to basketball and football, and it's happening each year, and there's a lot of reasons why. I'm assuming there's a lot of those communities that can't whip out $250 for a glove and $400 for a bat. So how do we change this kind of as like a baseball community? How does that change? Because I know the Players Alliance has done great work. They've traveled across the country, and it really was a topic of issue when the protests were happening last summer. So how does baseball, because back in the 70s and 80s, baseball was very diverse in that sense, but how do we get it back to where it was?
Just bringing more excitement back to the game. I think the game is, definitely been doing that, marketing it more, marketing the players more, trying to get, their faces out there so that the younger generation can have players to relate to, relate with, and, want to go out there and play baseball, having more fields accessible, like I said, equipment accessible, just the goal is mainly just to, you want a kid to just, I want to go out to the field, go out there and play, not worry about having to get that expensive glove, expensive bat, whatever it may be, the buy-ins to play in some of these tournaments. Obviously that's going to deter. So the objective is just to get kids to want to play, giving them opportunities to just go out there and play and be a kid. And obviously if they take it to when they get to older age, they can filter into, professional baseball. But obviously we definitely just want to get more kids playing, getting out there, having fun. And, the Players Alliance trying to make it easier for them to just get out there and play.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. All right, we're going to finish up with some lighter questions. We got into a little bit of a heavier topics there, but which pitcher did you absolutely own while you were in the league?
Well, he's a buddy of mine, so I ain't gonna say I owned him, but I had a pretty good track record against him. Aaron Harang, I faced him a bunch in the NL East, different teams, but I always seem to face him, and then to the point where I had to go into the manager like, hey, I need to play. If he's the pitcher, I need to be in the lineup. So that was my guy. Even though I said good friends and we always enjoyed the competition amongst each other, but like I said, I got a pretty good track record.
6 for 16 against Aaron Harang. So that's and also Cole Hamels, you racked up 10 hits against him. He's another guy that
I felt like I just faced him a lot. That I don't feel like I owned him. Nah, I just felt like I faced him a lot.
And you stole 6 bases off Cole Hamels. And
now him, I didn't. Now that one I did enjoy being on base against him.
So what pitcher did you, I guess, who owned you, I guess? I know that's not a flattering question to ask, but who kind of had your number? Tough at bats, I should say.
Probably either Lincecum or Kershaw. But I got my fair share of hits on them, but I faced them a lot because I was in the NL West. So I don't think I got good track records though. But it was good tough at bats though. But I don't think I got good track records against them.
I don't have to refer to the stats on that one, Jasper.
Yeah. but those two names are good names though.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
So yeah, last one. I mean, you talked about it earlier. Carlos Gonzalez, Dexter Fowler, those are your guys. But like, which teammate do you have that just like he steps in the room, it's electric? There's just a vibe, and he's funny, he's cracking jokes, he's getting everyone going.
Probably Dexter.
Yeah,
but we've known each other since I was 19, he was 18, because we both kind of drafted around the same time, and then we was roommates all the way from rookie ball all the way until we both debuted. So I don't know. Even to this day, we can go a little while without talking to each other, but as soon as we see each other, it'll be just like we was younger. So yeah, I'll say him.
He's a big close guy, huh?
Oh yeah, but he's always been like that. He's been like that since we was younger. I mean, true story. He did tell me when we was in rookie ball that dream of his, and he's like, I'm gonna wear Jordan one day. He told me that when he was 19, and he wears Jordan now. So I'm like, hey man, you did tell me that. That's awesome. Yep,
that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm on his clothing shop right now. I'm looking at the men's...
He's always been like that. He's always been had his own swag.
Yeah, I gotta get a Fowler merch. We gotta go get that, put that in the cart. Eric, I appreciate the time. Thanks for coming on. I know we've been trying to set this up, and definitely appreciate your time.
Oh, my pleasure, man.
All right, you guys could follow the podcast on Twitter and Instagram at RizzoCast. Follow Spotify, Apple Podcast, YouTube, wherever you find your podcast. Thank you guys for listening, and have a great day.